Ryze decided to nerf a lot of stuff because they were kinda broken, to be honest. Blink attack on Viego was bugged, he was dealing way too much damage, Mech was kinda contested, so some things changed. Let's see exactly what. The first camp we're gonna talk about is Yuumi. It's pretty simple to play. When it comes to Yuumi, you need to understand that you want like gamble into her because she deals a lot of damage, and every time she casts she deals even more damage because her passive gives more pages, and because of those pages you do some true damage and you get a lot of healing for your front line, which is not very great, although it looks like Leona took Xante too. It's not the biggest front line in the game, so you want to keep it alive. The other items can be anything flexible. As you can see here, you have JG strikers, but it can be like Archangel, it can be like voice stuff, it can be even blue buff, although trust me, blue buff it's not great on Yuumi. Do not prioritize blue buff on her, it's not great. Adaptive is fine also. So try to make any like general AP items, she's gonna do fine. When it comes to tank, Leona wants like as much healing as possible because her ultimate spreads and she steals armor and MR from the enemies. So you don't really want like Bramble and Declo and stuff like that, but it's not bad if you have it. Like Warmox, Redemption, or Anima Visage and Steadfast are fine, but you can make Gargoyle, Bramble, and stuff like that. So just the general idea. As you can see here, it's a level 9 board and you're gonna be like, oh, I'm not reaching level 9 every game. That's fine. Your level 8 board is just without Seraphine, okay? You play 4 Prodigy, you play 2 Bastions and 2 Protectors. Xante is like the secondary tank, so don't like really prioritize items on him unless you hit Xante 2-star first time, okay? So for example, if you roll at level 8, you hit Xante 2-star and then you hit Leona 2-star, the first items you put on Xante, right? Because it's easier. But once you have Leona 2-star, move items on her, because Xante, even though he doesn't have items, he has 2 lives, so it's like very easy to play and it's like very good for what he does, okay? Second camp, it's Vertical Star Guardians. It's probably the easiest board to play and it's probably the one of the most stable level 8 boards. If you want to farm top 3s, just play Star Guardians. AP items, you build on Ahri. AD items, you put on Jinx. Tank items, you put it either on Nico or on Poppy, whichever is 2-star. It's very simple. Just farm top 3s and get out. But there are some very important stuff when it comes to this camp. So first of all, you don't want to make AD items first. There's 2 reasons. 1, Xayah is trash. 2, you don't have anyone that can carry those items until you hit Jinx. Like sure, if you make like Sojourn, you can put it on different champions, but realistically if you start the game with like Infinite Age or Last Whisper, there's nobody really to take the items, okay? So try to make items on Ahri first. Again, you can see here Sojourn strikers with JG. These are like very good items, but you're not gonna have these items all the time, so I want you to think about what you want. You want Shred first, so you want Void stuff by any means. Don't make Ionic, that's not an option. You want Anti-Heal. Morello is way better than Sunfire and the red buff because Morello gives you like mana per second as well, so that's good. And third item can be anything, can be Adaptive, Sojourn, JG. You shouldn't make Striker's Flail unless you have like a sort of crit, so do not prioritize this item. Void stuff, Anti-Heal, most important. Jinx, same idea, you want to like make either crit. There are 2 builds with like Sojourn IE strikers, or you can make like Rage Blade, Kraken IE. The most important item, it's Infinite Age. And Poppy can take any items that are like either tank or bruiser. So if you have like Sterak, BT, Titans, it's fine. You can put it on Poppy, okay? It's not the worst things because Poppy and Star Guardians have like this passive with shields, so she gets like this big ass shield. She's amazing even with bruiser items, but it's way better to have like tank items, okay? The third board is Soul Fighters. I'll be honest, they got a bit hit. They want like 650 HP, the true damage is not there anymore. It's not the greatest board, but it's not unplayable. You should play this board when you have a win streak. The question is, how do you win streak, right? Because people think that you should put items on Kalista and you're gonna do damage and that's it. Well, that's actually not true. Kalista is fine, but she's very slow. For example, if you have like Sojourn IE, she's gonna be amazing. She casts like 2 times, maybe 3 times per fight, right? So you kill a lot of stuff. But if you have only like Infinity Age, she's very slow. So the question is, who takes the items until Samira so I'm stable? Well, it's gonna sound a bit crazy, but it's Naafiri. Naafiri is an amazing carry, even with only 80 items. So for example, this Naafiri unit is very good. Although it sounds like you can only put like bruiser items on her, like PT, Sterak Titans, she's actually pretty good at like 80 items also. So don't be scared of making IE, Striker, Last Whisper, even Sojourn if you don't have Kalista's 2-star. When it comes to Samira items, you kind of want Sojourn because she's a bit slow if you don't have it, but it's not like the end of the world. You want to have as many swords as possible, but you need IE also. I forgot here to put it, that's my bad. And at level 8, you just play 6 Soul Fighters with Volibear and with a Shen, because you're gonna get like edgelords also. So don't be worried if you don't hit a soul fighters. The best conditions for this board is like clearly win streak, but also do not sleep on emblems. I think right now, or at least the last patch, the Soul Fighter emblem was one of the best emblems in the game. So if you have any possibility of making like a Soul Fighter path, you should, because it's very strong, especially at level 8 you are very stable. So you should try to get it either through augments or maybe from carousel and stuff like that. It's not mandatory, but it's way better. You win the game if you hit Gwen 2-star, and if you replace Volibear with a Yone 2-star also. Any spats help, of course, but prioritize items on Samira first. Do not make any bruiser items, do not make any Gwen items. Samira is the main carry, the rest just help her, okay? And Seth can get any tank item, so don't worry too much about him. Also, Sterak is not bad on Seth, keep that in mind. Ryze Mech, I'll be honest, this board got hit. It's still fine, but it's not great. If you wanna play this board, I would suggest two things. First of all, don't play it in like most of the games. It's not playable, it's not very good. Second of all, you should play this board when you have like a very big win streak, or when you have like double economy augments, because you want to skip level 8. Level 8, it's not that strong, the 4 mentor buff is fine, but realistically speaking, you kind of want like pivot into legendaries, which I'm not showing you here because it's way too complicated, but imagine it to replace Kobuko, Yasuo, and Udyr with like Zyra, with like Gwen, maybe Braum, stuff like that. So me personally, I would suggest to not play this, but it's not like that. You can still play it, Yone is still good. Ryze is a bit nerfed, but it's still fine. It's an option, right? The last comp I'm gonna show you is Kayle with Juggernauts, not with Wraiths. You're gonna look at me and be like, oh, Graham, are you stupid? Maybe, but not in this case. And here is the reason why I play Kayle with Juggernauts. Wraiths are good, but it's pretty hard to like reach a board with Wraiths where you are stable in the mid game, right? Because if you think about it, most of the Wraiths you need are kinda expensive. Xante, it's a 4-cost, Varus, it's a 5-cost, you can't really get it until level 9, so it's not very stable or consistent, okay? But this Juggernaut trait, it's like Vanguard from set 14. In other words, kinda broken. Let me simplify it. By playing Juggernauts in the mid game, you save more HP. By saving more HP, you can go level 9. By going level 9, you do more damage with Kayle because she has the passive, right? Zac is fine if you get it 3-star, so for example if you roll for Kayle and you're like 2 Zac away from hitting Zac 3-star, you should go for it. But you don't prioritize him that much anymore, right? The Juggernaut trait is so tanky right now that it overlaps any verticals, any like 6 raids, or like maybe you play with 6 heavyweights, although people don't really play it. But this 6 Juggernaut Kayle board, it's enough for you to get top 2 from a good spot. Now, why am I saying top 2 and not first? Because realistically speaking, if you really want to play the board, you cannot have like 1 and 2 cast units on your board as the most important pieces in the game, right? So, if you want to play with this board, and you want to farm top 2, top 3s, play the Juggernaut version. If you want to win the game, you will have at some point in stage 5-5, stage 6 plus, to pivot from this board into a 6 raids board with like Varus carry. But that means you need enough gold, you need to go level 9, you need 3 items Varus, and a Varus 2-star. It's a bit complicated to get to that point. But keep in mind, this is not the final version. Now, I'm gonna end it here, but I want to make some special mentions. First of all, the crew is very good, but you should only play it on Scuttle Paddle or Crabgrave, or with the special augment for the crew that gives you like a champion every time you like get a 2-star the crew champion, right? But if not, it's not recommended to play the crew because you need a lot of gold to hit a lot of stuff, okay? Also, do not sleep on some reroll comps, because Janna reroll, there are some spots for it. Katarina reroll got nerfed, but there are some spots for it. So, just because some boards are like S tier or like, oh, people play only these boards, it doesn't mean there are other boards that are good. For example, Darius, right? Darius got nerfed, he's dead, you don't play it. But, if you hit Silvermare, if you hit Prowlers, Darius is not bad, you can play it. This was it for this video, catch you next time. I'm gonna leave this post in the description in case you wanna like read and you don't wanna hear me out. Alright, catch you next time.